Okay, it's on.
Relations aren't resilient, their evidence doesn't assume super specific scenarios like Russia and Afghanistan. These are declining. The plan is the only way to address these diverging market interests. Now, they have not read a single piece of impact of NATO impact defense. Yes, NATO impact. The only way to stop rogue states from proliferating are when they see evidence is hyper-specific to rogue states like Iran and North Korea, and how there is conventional war in the status quo, and why we need to stop those from escalating into a total nuclear war, which interacts really well with proliferation in this scenario. Yes, NATO impact, not grandstanding or presenting evidence as the key to global pacts and deterrence of rogue states from achieving nuclear weapons. Their 1NC evidence is super bad. It is not talking about how NATO is important on things like rogue states and nuclear question. Now it's just a question of whether or not it's resilient, which is its own impact. Casino Russia, impact no Afghanistan, impact not going forward now. Water. Egg collapse leads to extinction, famine, breeds fanaticism, and terrorism, which threatens internal instability, causes state collapse, loose nukes, ensure quick retaliation, escalation, as Luger, independent environmental impact, lack of resources to cause destruction of habitats and resources. Their F concedes that massive amounts of instability have occurred. That was in the cell A, and evidence says that it causes things like massive refugee outflows. It's just a question of those. So nearest escalating. Yes, 2004 did not escalate. There's no telling for whether or not 2014 is going to escalate, especially since new terrorist organizations like ISIS are posing a unique threat. Yes, environment impact. Their evidence doesn't assume anthropogenic pressures in the face of resources outpacing the face of resiliency. Their evidence is written for a chair of a Nature Conservancy website that's obviously biased. Now, prolif debate. Nuke prolif causing extinction, Korea, Afghanistan, Vietnam. These proxy wars all ended in near disasters. Best studies prove that it results in more conventional warfare and heights the risk of extinction of the Korean and Chronic. Their index don't apply because we take a holistic view of proliferation, no cherry picking. Now, they don't now defer to magnitude because it's the only irreversible impact. All their impacts can be reversed, like disease spread. Obviously, intervening actors check those. Now, NATO turns proliferation. It's a peace mediator to check conventional conflict. So even if we lose the nuke war scenario, we're still going to win that. We have a larger internal link to net deterrence. Now, they don't turn our impacts. RF is necessary and sufficient internal link. We've read super specific reasons why NATO is key. Now, they say now Carl Evans from '98 doesn't assume new proliferance. Now, no fear mongering or ethnocentrism. Our evidence is accurate. You need to view the evidence as a whole. Now, proliferate. They say bioweapon scenario prolif causes that. That's Gov 2. Those who feel threatened by the capability of nuclear weapons by CB able to joining the arms race by building other types of weapons and mass destruction of biological weapon. No link. No reason applies mechanism of stopping prolif caused by bioweapons. No impact. That's each of 3 bioweapons never ruled over the building weaponized smallpox and killed 3 people. No epidemic. No weapons. Great death. God. 68 died. No epidemic market on no epidemic. They say Asian wars prolif leads to worse Asian wars. Instability due to China's expansionism and such. I see their evidence from '96, no escalation. Obviously, we have a larger internal link because there's Chilean evidence that says places worse hurt by the regions worst hit by resource wars were in like Asia. This satellite's impact doesn't make sense. Japan's already sending up satellites, and there is not an extinction level claim coming out of the John Evans disease won't cause extinction at 014. Disease don't drive species disease. If disease is lethal, then population drop is less likely an individual contact each other, highly contagious, intend to burn themselves, burn themselves politics. On the top level, turns case arguments are BS. Our internal links are hyper-specific to offshore wind as an energy issue that really makes sense. That really matters to places like that matters to the NATO. It's the largest internal link. Their Indo-Pac war doesn't make sense. I already concede impact defense. Obviously, they don't have an internal link to resource wars. The only scenario for it worsens trade relations because people will hold back now. It won't pass. Congress hates giving unlimited authorization. Their evidence is pretty good about why TTIP and why TPP are popular. Not a reason why TPA is popular or why Congress would give unlimited authority to Obama. Now, nothing gets unlinked on Reed pushes a lot of the legislation, even with Obama's political capital. And no, their plan is popular, except the Tracy content evidence. When industry backs it up, and they have a huge contingency group. All the arguments about why Obama doesn't get the group. All their arguments is about a Cape Wind project that already happened, which should have already triggered the link. And wind lobby ensures support that's hurdles to called the panel approved investment credit to offshore wind and Republican support. No surprise that we have given recent donations from the industry. The nation include Grassley leading support amendments. Also benefited from donation. They include Reed. Now insurance and reject the argument that the team. Now TPA is not key to trade. It's extremely bureaucratic and has a lot of errors. Has raw evidence. Wind. They say wind lobby destroys that wind is not.
Go back to prolif. He's not following.
No. You should. I mean,
Keep going.
Trade doesn't solve zero empirical evidence. Our modern evidence says that things like post-world, it takes into account of post-World War impacts and why that never escalated. Now, to 1 and C should be your evidence is horrible because it does not make it an escalation claim. Yes, a bunch of small areas will go to war. Doesn't mean those go nuclear.
The only reason is because we're doing it